Greetings and happy 4th of July once again. Hope you guys are enjoying the night. I certainly plan on doing some enjoyment of my own, but just probably not the way you guys think. Anyway, thank you for joining me here at Bloom from Within Love. And so what we are talking about is love and sex. Love and sex talk with Bloomy. Okay, that's me. And I will be sharing a link in the description box to another YouTuber. I don't know this person personally. We're not affiliates, but she has a wonderful law of attraction affirmation video regarding love and romance and attracting a relationship that's in alignment with your higher self, yourself, and your truest desires. And so, I haven't created one of my own as of yet. So I just thought that I would share, a link to those that I listen to for those of you who are feeling guided and inspired to rewrite your story by rewiring your brain. Which plays a major role in what we manifest. It's something that I have learned on this journey. And please forgive me. You guys are going to hear a lot of fireworks. It's already starting here on the West Coast in the United States of America, Pacific Standard Time. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, at least at the moment. And so you guys are going to hear all of that. Now, I said, let's talk love and sex. Love and sex, love and sex. And, I did a video earlier sharing some of my self-care practices at the gym and this total enhancement machine. And I was kind of alluding to some of my naughty nature there. 50 Shades of Grey, right? Something very erotic about that, isn't it? For those of you who have watched the series movies, 50 Shades of Grey. If you haven't, Google it, check it out so you can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you're someone like myself and resonate with this is going to make a lot of sense as to why I was inspired to, rewire my brain in this area in terms of our desires, our attractions, and how it kind of all bleeds in together, but how sometimes your desires and attractions don't seem to really go well with your deepest heart desire in terms of what you want in the longevity, what you really are wanting to experience and manifest in your life, right? So, for an example, and I said 50 Shades of Grey, I have a very high sex drive. Believe it or not, I really do. But most would never know that because I practice a lot of discipline. And not only that, if I end up in some kind of dynamic or connection where I start feeling abused or I start feeling like I'm mistreated in some way or it's not equal give and take or, I start picking up on all these things, at some point, like it slowly chips away at my sexual appetite in that dynamic. So for me, my sexuality and activity when I'm in those types of relationships, it eventually erodes and starts to wane away, where it becomes very stale. It becomes very not all that. And I'm not even just saying on that person's side alone. I'm saying in a whole sense, because I'm no longer really feeling it. I'm not feeling it because I feel like I have been mistreated or violated in some way, or that I'm not being honored in some way, or in a whole sense of a relationship. All of that fire, all that passion, all of that 50 Shades of Grayish energy, right? All of that goes away. It goes away for me when, hear this out, it goes away when the toxicity and dysfunction dynamic starts to go outside of the bedroom. Okay? Let me explain. 50 Shades of Grey. The couple, I forget what his name is, Grey something body, and Anna May or whatever her name is. Anyways, Annabelle or something. They had this crazy, odd chemistry, sex chemistry, this mystery, this intensity, this pull, gravitational pull with each other. They were literally total opposites, which is so freaking crazy. Like, she was like this nice gal, kind of nerdy, and it had a sense of innocence about her. I think she was even a virgin, to tell the truth, before she hooked up with him. But she had this innocence to her, but she was very sexual, though. That's the kind of kinky secret about it all. And he was like this dark, accomplished, sex deviant player, you know what I'm saying, kind of person. And but he was intrigued by her, right? So anyway, try to make the story short. They had this intensity with each other, this sexual fire and heat and pull. But his toxicity went beyond the bedroom. He had some major issues that bled out into his inability to connect intimately, his inability to connect to his own emotions, or willingness to connect to his own emotions, and traumas regarding some abuses that had happened to him very early on. And so he was very OCD, controlling and rigid, in that everything literally had to be how he wanted it to be, or it just couldn't be. And he was willing to go to whatever extent, to make that so, because he had money. So he was willing to set up a contract. He was willing to lay out all the dynamics and pay for everything and whatever. But the terms and conditions were, everything was his way. It wasn't about her. It was about him. That was the whole dynamic. It was not about you. It's about me. It's about how I want you to fit in my world, Annabelle, or whatever her name is, what I desire of you, what I want from you, what I want to accomplish. And in exchange, what I will do is give you a place to live, an iPhone, a damn, you know what I'm saying? Like these kind of perks, if you are willing to just accept terms as I desire. Because if you try anything else, all it's going to result in is a fight. All this is going to result in is chaos. All it's going to result in is, disappointment, because I'm not going to live up to it. I'm not going to bend. I'm not going to change. I'll play the role, to a degree. And so I parallel this to people like myself that, first of all, we have to go on our inner journey work to start dealing with maybe some of the deeper toxic reasons as to why we even desire toxicity, right? But beyond that, because even once we have done some work and continue to, self-reflect and do the energetic work, we discover that we're complex. We have polarity. We have so many factors, soul contracts. I mean, I can get into a whole myriad of things here. But what I'm discovering about myself is that we are very complex. You can have a desire sexually to have that 50 Shades of Grayish dynamic in your love life and the romance. But at the end of the day, you still, on the other side of you, which is in my case, you want something healthy, sound, and true. You don't want it to be that the only thing that you have in common with an individual is wanting these 50 shades of gray sexual experiences, but then you guys hate each other beyond that. You guys can't seem to see eye to eye beyond that. You guys are not willing to work with each other honestly beyond that. You guys aren't even compatible beyond that. Or you understand what I'm saying? Have no attraction to one another beyond that. And so it becomes kind of a catch-22 in a sense in some ways, and a kind of enigma, oxymoron. Like, what do you do? And so it led me to do what I always do regarding anything about my life is I go within and I tap into energetic knowledge or tools to see how they could apply to that, right? Because it's no different than anything else. It's all still needing to be energetically dealt with and a rewiring of the brain. I'm going to say first and foremost, energetic systems. I'm going to always point you all to chakras. And we all need attention to our chakras, okay? Science is catching up with being able to pick up the energy centers in the body as well as the auric field, right? And it's real whether people are acknowledging it or not. And the chaos is due to the destruction to the chakras. I'm just going to say that, to the imbalances of the chakras. All right. But so even as we're working on the energy, we got to get out of that addiction brain stuff you guys hear me talk about. Right? That hardwired brain. Because the brain is a computer. Think of it like a computer and a program that it doesn't matter how outdated that particular software is that you put on that particular computer system. It doesn't judge. It just is. And until someone decides to upgrade their, operating system and softwares and things like that, it's going to run the same shit and it's going to produce the same shit. Period, point blank. You can put a bow on it. You can change the box. You can try to take the insides of it and then put it in an iMac case. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can do all of that, but it's going to run the same. It's going to say the same things. It's going to respond the same ways, and it's going to produce the same things. So I encourage you all to join me. We can have it all. See, I'm not here to say that, you got to choose, maybe you got to get out of that desire of 50 Shades of Grey life or experience. You have to choose what's most important to you. I don't really believe that because we're co-creators. I just don't. I believe that we can co-create whatever the hell we want, but we can't bypass a system that we're already running on, though. I will say that. And my desire is to keep all of that heat, to keep that dynamic, and not with, understand where I'm coming from, not with the over excessive trying or addictive, when it gets too much. I'm talking about naturally having that and being able to naturally maintain it with ease. And it's possible. Law of attraction, we're co-creators, right? I don't want to believe that we have to give up one in order to have the other. If you want a real serious relationship, you got to give up that fire and that dynamic about yourself and sexuality. Or in order to have fire and sexuality, you don't get to have a relationship worth shit. Right? It doesn't have to be either or of those. So I totally recommend that you click on the link to this YouTuber, okay? And there are many others. It's just one that really caught my eye because I listen to a lot of things and practice a lot of things behind the scenes, and there are certain ones that I'll be like, I can dig that. And I recommend, do it in a time that's most suitable for you. I always tell people, do it and when you go to bed, because you're going to slip into another brain activity at some point, which is really good for rewiring the brain. Or do it early in the morning when you first get up, where your brain is still kind of in a not sullen, but kind of like in a neutral state before you start, attacking, air quotes, the responsibilities of life. where maybe you're making that cup of coffee, you're making that cup of tea, you're making, you know what I'm saying, your bagel and piece of fruit and orange or strawberries, and I'm getting hungry just saying that. And you're, gonna sit out in front of a tree and, however your routine is, or you're just gonna look out the window and look at some flowers. And before you start attacking your day or going about your day, and just sit with it, let it run, try and connect with it. Try to see what it feels like to feel and be in those affirmations, right? All right, so without any further, discussion here, I don't want to be on all day and do want to continue on my night and, some practices. I got some full moon practices that I want to do tonight. The eclipse practices I'll do tomorrow. They happen to be in my sign right now, Capricorn, at least my star sign. And so that is a lot. It's a lot going on. But I got some good news. Like I did some studying today on moonology and just the phases and planetary dynamics today and update. So you all, if you're having a rough one today, next couple of days, it's not just you. Okay, emotional things are happening probably for a lot of people. So it's not just you. I welcome you to do what I had to do after last night. Okay, and today, which is, just take some breaths and try to, I don't even want to say resist. Try to gently and lovingly, graciously redirect your mind and thoughts to stay in neutrality or an optimistic mode, no matter how tempted you are. And it's tempting right now. I'm going to tell you guys, the energies, it's going to feel intense. But be kind to yourself either way. If you have a meltdown, have it. Then neutralize it, reset. Okay. Breathe, because a lot is not quite what it seems. Some of it is just coming up for a transmutation or for that last final facing by you. Other things is just shaking up stuff, and it's not quite as it may seem or feel at the moment, okay? I love you guys very much so, and I want to encourage you to please participate. I do these things from my heart, and I am certainly interested in things that are relevant to what I'm discussing. If you guys got an experience to share, if you want to ask a question that's relevant, because we're all in this together, my only requirement is that it's high vibrational and respectful and tactful to who I am and my channel or my platform, because you would expect the same, okay? And if you don't resonate, that's fine too. I mean, me, myself, if I don't resonate with something, I don't really give it a lot of attention and energy at all. I'm not going to spend 30 minutes giving them a spiel on their channel, on their platform about how wrong I think they are. It's like, why do that? If it don't resonate, it just don't. But if you do like what I'm about and things that I share resonate with you on any level, and you feel like it's benefiting you, please, I welcome you to share. I mean, this would be your way of helping and supporting me to continue to be able to do this and grow the channels and the platforms in which I utilize, greatly. It is from the bottom of my heart that I appreciate your guys' views and support. And I just wanted to say that much love and hugs and kisses on your given journeys and paths. And as it relates to this particular upload, love and sex talk, you guys, we can have it all. We can have both that hot sex life and a love that's true. We really can. All right. Hugs and kisses. Namaste.